Still goosebumps. I'm Raiders! Oh, and a little bit of Mama Bear. What's up, family? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. Appreciate you all tuning in. Oh, sorry I'm late. Sorry I'm late. I didn't want to come. I'm playing, or I wouldn't be so happy to see all of you tonight. What's up? Welcome to the show. It's your boy, Raider Bear. And I'm just here tonight to talk to all of you and get the spiel and all the latest on our Raider Nation. But I have something extremely exciting to talk about. I think this is extremely exciting. I have a little bit of a drop tonight. Now, as early as yesterday, I did not have this. I got this literally today from a source I trust. So I'm going in on it hard. And then we're going to discuss the NFL draft and how that's going to affect it. Because the Raider Bear knows what the Raiders are going to do with their number 7 overall pick in the first round of the draft. Yes, he does. And it's interesting. So there's no longer stuff to talk about. There's no longer speculation. Now, the rumors that are going around this pick are for real. The rumors around what's going on with this are for real. But we're going to get to that in just 2 seconds. But let me get back to my usual real quick and making sure I say hello to everyone that tuned in tonight, because I appreciate you all tuning in so much, especially when I get to say, Tradish! Raider Bear Live. First comment, woo, MB, Josh Russell! The heavyweight champion of the world in a nail biter this time for number 1, numero uno, el jefe, my guy, Josh Russell. But in second place, the number 1 contender, Dustin King. So impressed. It holds on. Third place, an up-and-comer, John LaJoy. John, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. And as you can see, my beautiful... That's right. Joy Taylor is moonlighting from Fox simply to help your boy, the Raider Bear. That's all that is. She wants to make sure I'm doing a quality show. All right, so let's keep it rolling. David Pelkliver, what's up? Welcome to the show. Also, just a reminder, I am doing call-ins tonight on this particular show. I am doing call-ins tonight from YouTube and Facebook. Check me out. Call-ins tonight. Actually, I don't know if we can bring it up from both. I know I can bring it up from YouTube. I don't know if I can bring it up from Facebook. Actually, yes, I can.
Yes.
So, all you have to do is hit the link. Can you put our link up again? Voice from up above.
I sure will.
Say hi, voice from up above.
Hi, everyone. This is Joyce Taylor, the Raider Bear's lovely assistant.
Wow. We're going to take it that far. John, did you lose a bet? What's with that AFC West logo? You're killing me. Vincent Rubalcaba, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. David Pelcliva. Do you ever notice how many Raider fans have Niner logos for having taken bets with them? That one was for the voice. That joke was for the voice on above. We definitely get a lot of that. Call-in show tonight. Yep, call-in show tonight. Rodney Fuller said, Tradish! He knew what was up. Corinna Trujillo, what's up, love? Welcome to the show. Always there, blessing a Raider Bear. Anthony Penn, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the show. Larry Brooks Jr., always there, supporting a Raider Bear. Bear, what's good, my brother? Ted, always good, my brother. Ready to let it rip. And I have drip tonight. Drop, scoop, mic drop. Walk off the set, say it, and turn like Steph Curry because you know it's going in. Oh, it's that good. James Walker and his lovely wife, Princetta, in the house. What's up? Welcome to the show. Oh, one of my benefactors in the house, the Central Texas Booster Club in the house. What's up, Lucky Pace? I love that profile picture. John, the Lion Leon. What's up, John? Welcome to the show. Anna Diaz Rincon, always there supporting a Raider Bear, my number one supporter ever. Appreciate you, girl. Pete Vasquez, what's up, Pete? Welcome to the show. Jose Tariquez, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Mike Ramirez, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Raiders and C-Dub, Raiders C-Dub, what's up? Living the dream, I feel you. Love that profile picture, cute little girl. Denton Rhodes, what's up, Denton Rhodes? We're doing it all for Space Force and all those other, parts of the military. Travis Kelly, what's up? Welcome to the show. Frank Zander, I see you there. The only other person I've heard do my version of the Raider shout really well was Deadpool Raider. Deadpool Raider came on my show and did it really well. Joey Rivera, what's up? Welcome to the show. All right, so let's just kick it off. Okay? With the number 7 pick, the Raiders select. I'm going to tell you guys about that in just a minute. See, but if I just tell you right now, you're just all going to walk off. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. As soon as I get done saying hi to everyone. Doc Raider, what's up, Doc Raider? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. Hi. Hi, Val. Hi, Tommy. Tim Leonard, what's up? How you doing, Tim? Welcome to the show. Tim, I forgot your young boy's name, but I apologize. I'm sure your son's sitting there watching. Jonathan's on both. I like it. How about the guy from Pitt, Bear? Well, that doesn't tell me enough. I got to know what position, who you're talking about. Tanamoku. And Tana, welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. My brother, Tanamoku. Rose Ortega is always there for Raider Bear. You know this. Edgar Del Toro, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show, though. All right, so seriously, I'll just spit it out. So the number 7 pick, the Raiders are going to use it, but how they're going to use it is crucial. And here's what I mean. The Raiders are going to do something that I can only tell you I have now found out is what they're going to do. Now, I'm going to tell you what it is, but I have to give you this one point first. And I'm not making a joke this time. I'm being serious. Now, this one point I want to make is this. There's no way to know if I'm right unless they really do everything I'm about to proclaim, because it's not one step. There's a couple things that are going to happen. But I'm actually going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to tell you what I'm predicting, and hopefully that's what happens. Okay? But here it is. Now, when I say hopefully that happens, what I mean is if something else happens that prevents the Raiders from making that move, it doesn't mean that I'm wrong or that I'm not reporting the information I got about the Raiders move. It just means that someone else got in the way. You know what I mean? It's like if you trade up for the 4th pick and someone trades up for the 3rd and then takes you the person you wanted, now was what you were going to do a lie, or just some other team came up and beat you to what you wanted? You know what I mean? So anyway, long story short, I apologize. The Raiders at number 7 will move up to number 3 in a trade with the Cardinals, who are going to be willing to trade down because almost everyone they're interested in defensively is going to be on the board at 7, virtually everyone. And more importantly, there's multiple number 1 defensive players that would be available at 7. So even if you lost the linebacker, you'd have the defensive end. Even if you lost the defensive end, you'd have the best safety or corner, whatever the case may be. And so the Cardinals are going to feel comfortable enough trading with the Raiders, letting the Raiders go up to 3 so that the Raiders can select no drama here, Anthony Richardson. I don't think it's going to be Will Levis anymore. I don't think it's going to be any of these other guys. They want their opportunity at Anthony Richardson. Now, I'll explain, and here's the logic in it. They're going to go after someone like Garoppolo or Jacoby Brissett. And to be honest with you, if the draft goes down the way I think, and we really do get Anthony Richardson, then I don't care if they get Garoppolo for 1 year. Because whoever's sitting in the seat, we know is only sitting there until we can get Richardson in there winning games for us. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say Jacoby Brissett, Jimmy Garoppolo, one of those guys that's familiar with the offense, will be brought in for a 2-year deal, maybe a 3-year deal, really a 1-year, 2-year deal in name only. 3-year deal in name only, it would be a 1 or 2-year deal. And then once they've got Anthony Richardson up to speed, they're going to bring him in and then end the rest of the deal with whoever. Because, in fact, I could see them giving Jimmy Garoppolo the entire season, because that way you could go Jimmy Garoppolo, Jarrett Stidham, Anthony Richardson. With Anthony at the 3, then you also don't have to worry about us as fans saying, oh, bring him in, bring him in. I mean, we're still going to do that. But the coaching staff and the Raiders can honor not bringing him in by saying, guys, come on, he's 3rd string. He's not ready. You don't want us to shake his confidence, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Because if you have him at number 2, that gives us confidence as fans that, hey, wait a minute, he's right on the door now. Come on. You know what I mean? But they won't do that. So the Raiders will use that pick, move up to 3. Now, here's my issue. I think that someone is going to move up to the number 1 with the Bears. I don't know who that team will be. But at that point, one of the quarterbacks will be gone. We know the Texans at 2 will stay put, and they will take their quarterback of the future. So let's just assume for a moment that someone moves up and gets Bryce Young. Then the Texans take C.J. Stroud at 2. Then at 3, the Cardinals. That's where we would be sitting with our shot at Anthony Richardson, because Anthony Richardson is going to go at 3 or 4 because the Colts are looking for a quarterback. It might be the Colts who move up to 1 with the Bears. Then the Bears would take a defensive player at 4. Then you've got the Seahawks at 5. The Seahawks are also looking defensive. They are not looking for a quarterback. Now, for those of you who say, come on, Bear, they've only got Geno Smith. Geno Smith is a journeyman cornerback at best. That's true. But the Seahawks don't feel like these quarterbacks right now fit what they want to do with the system they have. So they are looking defense primarily, and they're going to roll with the young quarterbacks they have on the roster right now. So the Seahawks go defensive. Then you have the Lions. You have to assume the Lions are either going to go defensive line or offensive line. But either way, that doesn't affect our plans, and then you land at 7. So I'm honestly not completely sure we have to move up with the Cardinals, because the Cardinals might let someone else jump up with them. That's what scares me, because you may have a quarterback go at 1, 2, 3, and 4 right in a row, and they're all gone. As far as anyone starter-wise that you'd be interested in being your franchise in the future. So the Raiders are going to have to move up. So if we don't see the Raiders move up, then the Anthony Richardson thing is not happening. But I have a solid source that we've made up our mind. And when I say that, what I mean is that even though the how do you call it? Even though the rumors may have been out there for a while about him, I wasn't willing to report it until I had someone tell me that I trust, because I've got 3 or 4 people that I really trust in the situation. And when they come to me with things like this and they say they're sure, then I fire my guns, and usually it means the enemy's coming. Nicholas Maida, what's up? Welcome to the show, brother. Edgar Del Toro. Brian Balding, what's up? Welcome to the show. Jim Vanderland, Bear! Jerry Molina, what's up, Jerry? Welcome to the show. Ramiro Castro, Bear, lives close to Vandenberg Space Force Base. I didn't know that. Nat Frank, what's up, Nat Frank? Welcome to the show. Do you believe that we take quarterback with the 7th pick? No, Tim Leonard, and I know you heard me say all that just now, but I got to be honest with you, just reiterating my point, if the Cardinals trade down and it's not to us, then I don't see it. And unless we can, because I don't think the Colts will do any business with us. I don't think the Seahawks might. The Seahawks might do business with us, just move from 7 to 5. If we can move from 7 to 5 with the Seahawks, then you still have a shot. Then only 3 quarterbacks come off the wall, because the Cardinals are not going to be in it for a quarterback. So if the Bears, Texans, Cardinals, Colts, yeah. Well, Young, Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Levis. Well, then, but you still have available guys, but they're not going to be first round. You're not going to. I know a lot of us love that Hendon Hooker kid, but you're not going to give a first round pick. You're not going to use a first round pick on Hendon Hooker. So that might be where we trade down, and that might be where my inside source ends up being wrong, and not necessarily wrong. Just again, the flow of the draft. If we're not able to get the guy we want because of the flow of the draft, does that mean we weren't going to go after him, or does it mean we didn't get him because of the flow of the draft? Check out the ticker running on the screen right now, guys. If you want your voice heard, let me know. Krolinski. Okay, defensive tackle. Oh, okay. I like the build because he's not fat. You know what I mean? He's just big. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I could see that. I definitely could see that. But where they would get him as far as which pick, that might be difficult, because I see him as a wiggler between a 2 and a 3. And we have a high 2. I doubt we're going to use our high 2. So that means we'd have to use our mid 3, I think it is. And I don't think he'll be on the board by then, Tanamoku. Mama Bear. Come here for a second. Mike Ramirez. Yep, you knew it. Yeah, you did know it, because I'm telling you, I think they're going to do it. I don't see why the Cardinals wouldn't do a deal with us. I mean, if they just want defense, even if Carter's the guy they want, the defensive tackle from Georgia, he'll be there. You know, come read my ticker real quick. You don't have to come on camera to see it. Look, it's right here. Look what Jim Vanderland said.
Bear, in reference to your post about Mama Bear, if she could make idiot just 2 of her brain cells, his intelligence would quadruple. Oh my God! After the classes that I took, yeah, I can definitely spare some brain cells.
I didn't even want to read it. I just figured I'll just put it up here.
That was good. Good one, Jim.
Jacob Pero keeps steady and draft Caleb Williams after we tank the season. Oh, Jacob. See, I'm trying not to say the T word, but yeah, it's looking more and more like we might do it again just to build up the team even more. Even if you think your quarterback of the future is next year, right? So what? That's just one pick. In reality, we might have to tank the season again just to make sure we can get enough defensive help to keep rebuilding that side of the build. Because to be honest with you, any real coach, any coach that's any good, that knows offense, they can do things with pieces, just pieces. You don't have to have stars. As long as you have pieces, you can do things. Look how close we were with Derek Carr and a mismatch. And remember, we would get Darren Waller 1 week and then not have him for weeks. And then we'd get Hunter Renfrow for 1 week and then not have him for weeks. And then we'd have Devontae, and Devontae wouldn't get targets because of Josh's poor play calling and blah, 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 blah. So you can still, and yet we still, we're dynamic in a lot of games is what I'm getting at. So you can go out there with guys who don't necessarily have, great name recognition at a position and still win. Timothy Parsons said Stidham for quarterback and build the defense. I don't know how many of you guys realize how fragile Stidham is. I'm telling you right now, if Stidham was as good as we all think he could be, he would have done more with the Patriots. I'm telling you. And he didn't. You know what I mean? And we can all make the argument about Tom being there and all that, but they didn't mind letting him go. He didn't mind going with McDaniels to Las Vegas, I think because he really felt like he's the quarterback guy for Josh McDaniels, that he helps teach the offense how to do things because he already knows it so well. But he went there with Josh McDaniels probably promising him at some point that he would give him some opportunity to be a starter. And I think this might be it. I think those last couple games last year were a preview of it, knowing that he was going to get rid of Carr. He wanted a preview of Stidham as well. And depending on how Josh McDaniels reads how Stidham played last year is going to depend on whether or not he's going to be the starter this year, and that we draft a young guy and then just go into the season, or do we keep Stidham, draft a young guy, and go after one of the free agent quarterbacks, just not Lamar Jackson or Aaron Rodgers, where you got to break the bank. No, dirty. But Jacob Pirro, I agree with what you're saying. I just don't believe in Stidham. I think we should still go after someone like a Jacoby Brissett, make a battle between the two of them, let Jacoby Brissett legitimately outplay him, which I think he would. And then from there, next year you get Caleb Williams. At least though, with Jacoby Brissett, you're at least somewhat competitive. I don't think we would be competitive with Stidham. I'm just being honest. You notice I looked right into the camera. I want my viewers to understand that. Those of you may feel comfortable Stidham. Honestly, I don't. And I'm telling you, it's not an indictment of Stidham. You've never heard me say, oh, he doesn't have this and he doesn't have that. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just simply saying Stidham is what he is. He's a backup. You know what I mean? At this level, he's a backup. He's never going to be a starter. He doesn't have the tools, in my opinion. And now I am starting to downgrade him. Sorry, I'm going to stop now. Stephen Bobo, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show, though. I'm not sure that Richardson has the tools for the NFL. Like I said last night, whatever the best pick would be, McMoron will do something else. Yeah, Doc, I can't argue with that. But at the same time, I think that's what their pick is. I'm saying out loud that the tip I just got, I'm taking right with me to the draft. The draft is Thursday, April 27th. And that might backfire apparently. But the draft is Thursday, April 27th. Just a reminder for everyone. And I'm carrying this with me until then, until I hear different. I'm carrying this with me there. Timothy Parsons, it won't be a Jamarcus repeat because the discipline is totally different. The two athletes' disciplines are totally different. Mark Vargas, Bear. What's up, Mark? Welcome to the show. Troy Gill, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. John Leon says no on Anthony Richardson. John, I understand what you're saying, but I'm telling you, I got a really strong source telling me that's what we're going to do, that they want Richardson and that they understand that they're going to have to move up. And so they're probably going to. And I'm just kind of targeting the Cardinals. What was that voice on above?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know if anyone's interested in this, but you're also starting to hear reports that Tom Brady might come out of retirement and go to the Santa Clara Niners.
Oh, hell no.
John Leon said CJ Stroud is better than Richardson. John, honestly, I would say this to you. Everyone thinks that CJ Stroud is better because of what they've seen from him on tape and at the combine, which I don't have a problem with. But I would make an argument with you that sometimes that when you see a guy that looks surefire, ready to go right now, it means his ceiling's not going to go any higher. And that's not good. See, you're not looking for the guy who's going to come in and do exactly what he did in college. You're looking for the guy who could come in and go even beyond that. Okay? And the guy who looks like he's just barely touching his potential is Anthony Richardson. Whereas CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, those guys kind of look like they are what they are. And they're going to come in and show whether they have the mind, the mental tools, but the physical tools are what they are. The measurables are what they are. You know what I mean? You don't normally walk out of college playing quarterback at 6'3", 235, 240 pounds. You just don't see that. You know what I mean? And neither of those other guys, Young or Stroud, can measure up to that physically. And the NFL is about that. For example, I would remind everyone that's watching this, a lot of you know this already, but you may lose, thought of it. It's not in the front of your mind. It's in the back. These guys that come in from college to play quarterback, they lose weight. And so when they say, oh, I'm coming in at 225 pounds, that's going to be like 215 pounds by the time you get to week 6, week 7, and all that rigors and physicality start beating on him, and he's going to lose weight. Now, do I know that for sure? Not for sure, okay? There are some guys who come in from the NCAAs and they maintain their weight, okay? But there are a lot of guys that don't, especially lean ones that depend on running a lot. You know what I mean? Like a Bryce Young and like a CJ Stroud. So I'm concerned, you know what I mean, for whoever gets those guys, not just about whether we got them or not. I'm concerned with those guys panning out to be the potential players that they're looked at to be. Hey, Mama Bear. I was certain that Mick Pendejo was going to bring Mac Jones as quarterback after all McTank.
Pendejo.
Corinna always gives me a few good ones.
That was good.
Yeah. After all, McTank did cover his mouth while he was whispering in Mac's ear. Yeah, Corinna, we did all notice that. And not only did he cover his mouth and whisper in his ear, he did it for a minute. I mean, he had other people waiting to congratulate Josh McDaniels and Mac Jones, and he stopped and really held on to him for a minute and seemed to really have something to say. So you got to wonder, was that him saying, don't worry, I'm coming to get you? Don't worry about how unhappy you are in New England. I'm coming to get you, kid. You know what I mean? You never know. Maybe it's the Patriots who want to trade up to number 7 and take something from the draft and let the Raiders get Jones and who knows, and maybe their other first-round pick, whatever it is.
Good comment, Karina. Congratulations on your comment tonight.
Very nice voice from on above.
Fuck yeah.
Doc Rader says, that's my fear with Richardson. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a Jasuckus Russell, but at the same time, I do think there is a high likelihood that he could be bad. You know what I mean? That he may not. For example, when I say could be bad, people immediately start looking at his tools and they remember the video of him and how well he played. And they go, come on, Bear. Didn't you see the guy play? I'm not denying how well he played, but you have to remember everything you saw in college, none of that applies here. It just doesn't. I don't know how a better way to say it other than the college just prepares them for the pros. But to compare the two, they're night and day. And when you get to the pros, you have to learn how to read defenses. You have to learn how to rein yourself in because the defense will show you a prevent 15 different times, forcing you to throw underneath over and over again. And quarterbacks hate that. They want to showcase their arm and throw 40 yards and hit a guy perfect with a sweet little dime while he's running down the sideline. But most of the time, defenses will not allow that. They will play deep over and over again and give you the underneath in the hopes that they can come up and tackle that player, force a fumble or something. But they're not going to let you have the explosive play. Most of the time in the NFL, there's only small windows where the defense will stop playing that kind of defense, cover shells that go deep. I do. Thank you, baby. And they'll stop playing those cover shell twos going deep. And when they stop in that one play or two window here and there, the quarterback has to see that and know when to strike. And sometimes they have to audible to it because the defense will mask it, show you one thing, and then turn and show you another. And then it's up to Richardson to see that, know exactly what play in the playbook to go to, call the audible, make sure all the players know what the play is being changed to, and do it all within time of the play clock. You see what I'm saying? I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot to put on the shoulders of a guy that's not only probably never done that before, but hasn't even had that much experience driving at the wheel. You know what I mean? He's just always been in the back with the coaches calling everything and his legs always making him survive. So I don't know. I'm reporting what I know. I have the same sick feeling about Richardson that I had with Jamarcus. I still remember exactly what I was doing when they drafted Jamarcus and how disappointed I was. Same feeling right now. I hope I'm wrong for the Shield. I'll gladly eat crow if I'm wrong about him, but my gut says that's a bad pick. Ted Fade, I can't argue with your logic. All I can say is that the likelihood, I'm going to say this, the likelihood that he pans out, I think is higher than it might be in other places. Now, why is that? Because we have a head coach that is at heart an offensive coordinator, a former quarterbacks coach. So he's going to want this kid to succeed, and he's going to put his hands on it. In other words, he's going to be a part of the coaching, specifically a part of the drills, to get his accuracy right, to get him comfortable with these plays, to get him used to those plays, to get him understanding that offense. Now, you would have an entire year to do that. We're not going to call for them to throw him out on the field. We know he's raw. So they're going to show him. He's going to look beautiful. He's going to have on that helmet, and it's going to be tempting. But just let him learn. I think if we do that, he could become something, because now you could do the short RPO, run pass option, fake it or give it to Josh. That's going to have the defense on its heels. Now you're taking the pressure off the offensive line. See, there's things that come with Anthony Richardson that benefit the team, whether he plays well or not. Just his physical skills, his speed, his ability that if he makes two steps and gets by guys, he's gone. You know what I mean? It's like Marcus Mariota, except when we had Marcus Mariota and he was running the exact same offense, he was getting 12 yards, 7 yards, 6 yards, and getting first downs for us. Those same plays, if Anthony Richardson gets 3 breakaway runs on naked bootlegs or fake RPO play action to Josh Jacobs, if he gets 3 or 4 of those and they're all breaking long like that, one of them is going to go to the house. He's a touchdown for sure. Do you see what I'm saying? And so the potential of that with this offense and the fact that Devontae Adams would draw attention away from him and draw guys deep. Whoever we bring in at the number 2 would probably just bring in one of these speedsters. I haven't seen this many guys run 4.3 and under in a combine, maybe ever. This is one of the fastest combines we've ever seen. It doesn't really even matter. Oftentimes you say, well, you don't want a wide receiver that's just fast. You got to have hands, things like that. No, in this offense, he can just be fast, and it would help us greatly. Jim Vanderlyn, a lot of people feel that way because they feel like Levis isn't as exciting, but he's a franchise builder. So he'll become exciting to us once he gets on the field and starts slanging touchdowns. In effect, Jim, I honestly, and I've heard people say this, and I don't think it's fair, but he looks almost like a prototype of what Derek Carr was coming out of school. Similar build, similar runs enough, similar throws, et cetera, similar size. But I would argue that, in my opinion, Levis is, in my opinion, now I'm not, because I don't want to say anything that, I'm not trying to rip Derek Carr. There's no reason for it. But in my opinion, I think Will Levis has shown a little bit more physical tools than Derek Carr. I think that he would run a little bit more. He looks a little bit more of a durable guy to me. He's no tough guy. The guy's not built like Thor or anything. I just think that he would be a little bit more durable than Derek Carr. Umberto said we've been tanking since 2003. Great profile picture, bro. I like that. Frank Clark to the Raiders, you watch. Matthew Lincoln, welcome to the show. They're going to do something along that line. If they don't go after Khalil Mack, they'll probably go after Frank Clark because he had a good year last year, and he's been good throughout his career. Tanamoku said Belichick didn't even bother trying to keep Stidham. That's kind of my point. He didn't care if Josh McDaniels took him. It wasn't even a blip in the news. Normally, that would have been something for reporters to glam onto for clickbait and say, hey, look at this. The coach exiting the door steals one from Belichick. He didn't care. Tanamoku, Ted Thane is telling Matthew Lincoln that he'd be good with that. And Tanamoku, I agree with your comment. Watching Gang Related with Tupac, great movie. Right on, Raiders Club. C-Dub. I keep thinking that says club. Sorry. Troy Gill, no first-round pick. Quarterback must get defense or offensive line help. Troy Gill, welcome to the show. I think that one of these quarterbacks, though, could be a franchise changer. And Caleb Williams, the kid from USC that has mentioned the Raiders many times, is only a sophomore. He won't be available till next year. But I think that if there's another tanky this year, I don't know who we have at quarterback, but if we didn't get a young quarterback this year because they're off the board and we're still sitting at 7, you're going to get your wish. We're going to get a defensive player with that 7th pick. Jose Tariquez, I saw the right tackle that got released by the Falcons. I think that guy's a beast. He's a pancake monster. And so you go get that guy. Now that problem is solved. Now instead of going after Skoronski, you have something better, an accomplished starter at right tackle that's already experienced with the NFL, not learning the NFL. So yes, I'll always take a veteran free agent over a draft pick all day. Now, obviously, there's times where it's like an Odell Beckham Jr. where he has a bad injury history. So if it's him or a wide receiver coming out of the draft, that's maybe the best wide receiver coming out of the draft, I'm going to go with that guy over Odell Beckham Jr. You know what I mean? Not that that's necessarily correct, but I always go with the veteran guy, the guy with experience, unless they have a bad injury history.
You tell him, Raider Bear. You tell him.
Much love, voice on above. If they're going to tank to get Williams next year, then they won't want to be competitive. Jim, I agree with that. But at the same time, he can't do exactly what he did last year. He can't. All these 17 points ahead, and we're starting to whisper, you're just giving the candy back. But he can't keep giving these wins back. Yasuke Nobunaga, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. I hope the majority of the picks are on help for defense throughout the draft. Ramiro, Cash Flow Castro. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show, though. Ramiro, I think it is going to be mostly that. I just think it's going to be mostly that once we get beyond the 3rd round. So I think the quarterback could be one. I think the second would be the cornerback and a defensive back. And then with the 3, I think they might actually look at wide receiver. Yeah. I've been hearing that. I know most of you haven't. I know most of us have been hearing defense, this, that, and the other, but I'm thinking they may go young wide receiver and then look for a veteran wide receiver to put it to, because Mac Hollins is gone. And not because he can't play. They just want to get a little better. Yeah, Matthew Lincoln, none of the Tom Brady stuff has anything to do with us. It never really did. Larry Brooks Jr., appreciate the love, brother. You have a good night. Vicky, good. Hi, Vicky. Much love to you. Mwah. John LaJoy said, you rock, voice from on above. 30 months and counting.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, voice on above.
Everyone, pay attention. If you don't call into the show, I will visit you at night tonight, and I will pull you from your feet.
No, they don't have to call in. They can call in if they want to call in. The offensive coordinator for the Patriots was with Mac Jones in college. Honestly, John Leon, but the offensive coordinator that he worked with too was Josh McDaniels. And so Josh McDaniels will want to get him. I know he does. I think the coach wants to teach a quarterback, then have a veteran. You know, honestly, Blaine, you're right about that. And welcome to the show. I just think that if he's going to do it this year or next year, that's the question. Because the picks, I think, are going to dictate that. In other words, I don't necessarily. I got a rumor today. I want to reiterate this rumor, okay? But I got this rumor from one of my what I call my snitches, my ninjas, and reached out to me this morning and said that he has a source that says 1,000% that Josh McDaniels wants Anthony Richardson. And then we also know, though, that Anthony Richardson has become hot. And so, you know, the idea of him falling all the way to 7th, some people don't feel like that's going to happen. That even if he would fall to 7, that someone's going to come up from the bottom and go get him if he just gets past 4 or 5. So we would probably have to move up to number 3 with the Cardinals and get him. So we'll know real quick. If we don't move up with the Cardinals or the Bears, I would say, then it's out of the cards. That would mean defense this year, maybe a late round quarterback, like one of the 5s, because I bring it up on almost every show because I want everyone to remember I said this. Those 2 5th-round picks are going to be big. That might be where we find the guy. Ramiro Cashflow Castro said, voice from on above, can I get a woo like the Nature Boy? Oh, I love that. Come on, let it out. Come on, voice from on above. We need a Nature Boy. Marlo wants a funny shout out. All right. Marlo! What's up, Marlo? Now stay away from my woman, Marlo. No, you get back. You get back to what you were doing, Mama Bear.
Hi, Marlo.
No, don't do that. You're only encouraging the little vagrant.
Hi, Marlo.
Stop it. No, stop that. You're only allowed to use that with me and the dogs.
Hi, Marlo.
No, you either. Voice from on above. We need a Ric Flair. Woo! Oh, no, not husband-in-law. No, there'll be none of that. No, Raiders C-Dub. The Stiddy show will not be in full effect. At least I hope not. KP, what's up? Welcome to the show. Raider Flair Bear. I know that you got sources that say Brass wants Richardson. What does Tay have to say about it? I thought he said a say about yeah. You know, honestly, having a say in what you do and whether or not you get the yes or no is 2 different things. And more importantly, would Devontae Adams be excited about maybe one of the young quarterbacks? And we just don't know which one. That may have something to do with it. Maybe he himself is also excited about the idea of balling with a guy that's that athletic. You know what I mean? Just give us a quarterback who could read the defense, great work ethic, has toughness, and not afraid to take chances. Well, then that would be Will Levis, however he pronounces it. John Leon is suggesting we give up Hopkins for Waller. I think Waller is better than Hopkins at this point. He's also younger, so I don't know if that's a good trade for us. You know what I mean? I like Hopkins, I do, but you still have to make things balance. YouTube got a reel of Richardson's Florida snaps. Dude doesn't throw guys open or put it on his receivers with the huge college windows he's had. Showed no ability to go through progressions in college, and I don't see him learning this now when he has shown zero improvement at Florida all these years. This dude is Tony Mandarich 2.0. Now, Luckeye Pace, welcome to the show, and always one of my best commenters. I would say this to you. I agree with a lot of what you just said. I do. But I don't agree with the last part. I don't see him learning this now when he has shown zero improvement at Florida. I would argue with you that when you're at school, you never improve. That's why Andrew Luck busted, or not Andrew Luck, Tim Tebow, excuse me. That's why Tim Tebow busted. That's why RG3 busted, and a dozen other guys like Marcus Mariota, who while they were in college, they weren't really taught 2 things: how to run an offense and how to read a defense. They're not really taught that. They just bring their skills from high school and start nurturing them to play college level football. That's it. Now, they used to run, well, I shouldn't say used to. There are still a few college teams that run pro offenses. So you come in and you have an understanding, but, not like the NFL. It's just sticking your toes in the water. You know what I mean? But whatever Anthony Richardson may be capable of, I think that with a year of coaching, with them intensely working on him, learning how to read and how to, these things, we might be okay. Now, voice from on above, I'm going to say something blasphemous, but just hold on for me for a minute. Because look, Luckeye Pace, we see the exact same thing happening with the Niners. They picked that kid, Trey Lance. He's a young black, star, physically talented, looks like a star, has it all. But then when you look closely at his background, not very much experience running offenses, not much experience against high-level college football, not much experience reading defenses. So he struggled right when he got to the Niners. And now all the rumors you're hearing is that they want to move off Trey Lance because they feel like they can already tell that he's not going to get it, that it's too much to learn at the NFL level. And I hope, voice on above, you'll let me go when I say this thing because I'm showing respect. It's not about the Niners. The pick was in, this kid was pubbed and pushed and gaslighted like he was going to be the next future, Michael Vick. And the Niners jumped up really high to get him. And it just didn't work out. You know what I mean? And so if you want to make a comparison, there's your comparison. Because they haven't admitted yet to the Trey Lance thing, but they're going to have to. Because the kid is not good enough. There it is. There it is. There it is. Hell, I would trade for Brock Purdy right now. As a backup, keep the seat warm, that kind of thing. But he nice. I'm not trying to be a Kardashian, but he was very durable. Do you realize with all the injuries he had in his career, I think he only missed 2 entire games. Yeah. Mike Brown, what's up? Welcome to the show. Corinna Trujillo, they do frown on tanking. There's even real severe penalties where the very thing you're tanking for, you can lose draft picks. But it's hard to really prove tanking. It really is. And you could argue that Josh McDaniels did it about as well as anybody if he was really doing it. And I tell all of my viewers, you better hope he was tanking, because if he wasn't tanking and that was the best he could do, all those mistakes, all those personnel poor decisions, bringing in Zamir White and other running backs when you had Josh McDaniels or Josh Jacobs there and they wouldn't get first downs, and throwing to DJ Turner on 3rd down on a flat and just weird play calling. Okay, remember the flea flicker, and it was like week 2 or 3 and you've got Devontae Adams running a flea flicker. It was outrageous. Or jet motion run play, a play that Devontae Adams had literally never run in his life. And now all of a sudden you're trying to turn him into a motion wide receiver running back on a gadget play. I mean, this is what he was doing. So either he was tanking or he's real bad. real bad. Real bad. I mean, he had more 17-point leads blown than any other Raider coach ever. And Art Shell coached us twice. So Art Shell's got 2 seasons as a Raider coach and doesn't have as many 17-point come from behind losses where an opponent ran you down after you got a 17-point lead. Art Shell was a coach twice, and you don't have that many. Josh got them all 1 season. Managed to turn Derek Carr into the interception leader of the league, something that he had never done. I don't want to talk about Josh McDaniels. I read a report that Mark Davis wants another big name to come in to help put fans in seats if the report was legit. So if you're going Richardson, does that mean they're swinging big in free agency? Ted Thane, no. Richardson would be a big swing. That would be a big PR swing. If you did that, that's a name. Mark Davis would be happy with that. Plus the way he looks, his physicalness, his speed. So they'll appreciate all that. But would we be bringing in another Justin Fields? That's the question. And I would say to you, without completely agreeing with my good friend Luckeye Pace, I would say this. He's not completely off pace. And what Luckeye is saying, the evidence leans toward his argument, not mine. So I'm just being honest. Thomas Stevens, I appreciate that, brother. Blessings back to you, sir. Much love. Michael Guerrero. God damn it. Michael Guerrero, the Warriors are not tanking. And you're not funny, no matter how much you're making me laugh right now. Shut up. Okay? No, the Lakers suck, okay? The Lakers aren't even in the position the Warriors are in. Woo! No, Vicky Ginn. No. You tell that little runt to go to bed. It's way past his bedtime. Look under his pillow too. I'd be willing to bet you he's got one of those little tiny bottles of whiskey. A little Marlowe.
Night, night, Marlo.
No, don't do that.
Sweet dreams.
No. That's messed up. Woo! No, we don't need that. Can you see us grabbing another quarterback in the late rounds, which would mean we take 2 quarterbacks in this year's draft? John Leon, it's possible, and we have done it in the past. But it would probably be pretty late in the rounds. I mean, like 6th or 7th round. But let's not forget, the Niners found a guy that brought them, within a whisker of winning a ring from the 7th round. Not only was he a 7th round pick, he was Mr. Irrelevant, and they made that work. Now that's a compliment to the Niners organization, but it's also a compliment to the draft and how much better these athletes have gotten, because you can get now into the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round. And if you have good scouts, you really can find guys that can do some things. No, Marlo, I'm not jealous of you, okay? You barely come up to my knees, and I've got shoes older than you, okay? I might spank you right through this microphone, and don't think I can't do it. Michael Smart said, hey there from Central Missouri, Raider Nation, 573. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Adam Hudo, I have never seen the nation so divided. I never thought I would be saying that about the Raider Nation as well. Adam Hudo, welcome to the show. But remind you, divided in what sense? I mean, we're divided because a lot of people are just still mad that we gave up on Derek Carr. And I would argue there are some Derek Carr fans who do make sense. They're just saying, basically, if you were just going to keep doing this anyway, why not just keep doing it? Especially when you look at the money we owe Derek Carr, that's still a lot less than we would have to pay some of these other guys. You know what I mean? Why does Josh McStoopy-Doopy like Florida quarterbacks so much? Same thing with Tim Tebow. Yeah, Thomas Stevens, I can't tell you. He just likes guys that can run, and I think he wants to find someone that can run and throw for him. Sup, Raider Bear? What's good, man? I've been working a lot, but I still be watching every show in the mornings. I really hope we're drafting a quarterback and hopefully one of the top 4. Travis McNeil, I heard from a trusted source today that the Raiders are solidly in the camp of taking Anthony Richardson. Now it's a matter of can they trade up, because he's not going to fall to 7. So I'm targeting, personally, I think it's going to be the Cardinals. I've seen other mock drafts where they said that it might be the Texans because the Texans could fall to 7 and potentially still get a quarterback. The Cardinals, the Colts may want to move up. So I don't see the Colts being a possibility, but the Seahawks, excuse me, I saw Colts and read Colts too quickly. The Seahawks at 5 is a possibility. And you would only need one of the teams in the top 5 picks to go defensive, and that more than likely would be the Cardinals. So if everyone went right down the numbers, it would be Bears making a choice. Maybe let's say they go quarterback and trade Justin Fields, and then the Texans get a quarterback. The Cardinals will not get a quarterback, so that's gone. And then the Colts will do that, and then that's it. And then we would be coming up at 5 if we trade with the Seahawks. And I think we could get that done. Yeah, Tanamoku, it has been like that since the move. And we have to remember as Raider fans, you have to accept that. As you may mourn the fact that we've lost or gotten some anger from a lot of Raider fans, you have to understand they're tired of the business of this. They did not like the fact they were going to Vegas and then they're like all but double and tripling the ticket costs. And, none of us are talking about that. They drove out a lot of Raider fans simply because they went too far and they cost too much. Period. You were a Bay Area team. Your base was Bay Area. All the fans were Bay Area. You had San Diego, San Jose, San Francisco, San Leandro, Oakland. You had it all locked down. Fans just selling out the stadium year after year after year. And instead of rebuilding it or refurbishing it or building in the area you had, you moved to Vegas. I mean, I'm just saying that, is Vegas and the Raiders mystique similar? No. You know what I mean? It's getting there because you've changed it. You know what I mean? Now we have to look like that gambling team of, gamblers or whatever, which is weird. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. I'm on board for life. Adam Hudo, you're hearing in a lot of mock drafts that we're going to go with Witherspoon potentially at the number 2 pick at 38 because our number 2 pick is really high. So you're just barely out of the first round and then you're picking. Adams and Renfro are running into each other with the game on the line. Let's all not forget that play. That was all on Renfro. I don't think anyone forgot that play. And if you did, that was all on Renfro. He cut the wrong route, period. That ball was meant for Davante Adams, period. I've heard people discuss this. There's no discussion. I've read about it. I've looked into it. I've seen the players talk about it. Renfro is still a good player. He just made a mistake. One play. That's all. Look how close the games were. I'm just saying. Yeah, no, Adam Hudo, I do think we were tanking. I really do. I don't care. We had 6 games that were close. I do think we were tanking. There is no more proof than losing a game from behind being 17 points. My dog agrees that McPendejo tanked, and he'll tank again, right? Sean Scott, what's up, Bear? Calling it now. Raiders will be AFC West champs. Wow. All right. Sean Scott called it. John Leon said, I want to hear the boys from on above say, Raiders. I don't think so. Multiple times. Trinity Candelaria, what's up? Welcome to the show. McIdiot has no concept of in-game adjustments. That's how we lost those leads. Well, then that's bad coaching. And so I hate saying this, but it's either bad coaching or tanking. It's one or the other, and neither one's good. Have a good night, Anna Diaz Rincon. Much love, sweetheart. I just want to fix the defense. I've been screaming that for the last 6 years. 6 years? You haven't been a fan, longer than that? I mean, Derek Carr's whole career, we were like worst or third from worst. Hendon Hooker is being talked about, but I don't know that that's going to happen, Adam Hudo. I think that there's a very, very good chance that someone else that's looking for a quarterback that sees his potential is going to move on that. It never makes me comfortable when you see like someone fall like that. That guy Carter, the big defensive tackle for Georgia, everyone had him going in the first 3 or 4 picks. Now you got to wonder, is he going to fall? And if he does, who's going to be the team that has the sense to go ahead and pull the trigger and say, you know what, people make mistakes. He wasn't even in the NFL yet. You know what I mean? They're already going to go to trial and everything. He's already saying, I'm not, I'm innocent, and people will find out that this was just your standard car accident and we were going fast. You know what I mean? But the idea that we were racing and going all fast and the furious and I was risking people's lives, that's not true. And that's what Carter's saying. He's saying basically there was a car accident, that it did happen, but as far as fault, it was just an accident. There's no way to say, oh, it's completely Carter's fault and it's because of this. He's saying, no, don't do that. We weren't out there fast and the furious. We were just going fast, period. Thomas Stevens, that's not going to happen. You're always going to have people reaching out to quarterbacks that are within a few years of when they retired, but Rivers has made it clear he's not interested. In fact, he did also even make a joke that even if he did it, it would only be the Colts or the Chargers because he kind of knows their offenses and he knows their staff. But if Hooker drops to the second round, we should jump on him with the 30th whatever pick. It's 38th pick, Adam Hudo, and I can't go there with you because I think a second round pick for him now at this point would be too high. Because even though he was a first round pedigree prospect, that was before he tore his Achilles. We don't know where he's with that now. And more importantly, Hendon Hooker is a little bit on the heavier side. I haven't seen him lately, but when I watched him play and I saw some of his images, he's a little heavy. He's got that Charles Barkley kind of build. You know, that's not going to be good at the next level on your legs. How would you grade our general manager's job if you take out Adam's deal, just looking at the players they picked last season? Vernon Moshman, great question. I would say this to you. I think that Dave Ziegler, their general manager, has an eye for talent, but he has an eye for talent, and he also tries to analytics that talent. So in other words, when we get to pick number 38, even if there's a position that we could fill that we have high demand and there's a best player available at 38, and this is going to happen, the 38th pick is going to come to us, and we're going to have Liverspoon on the wall. We're going to have all these guys on the wall that are great players. And so Ziegler is going to have himself exposed on that 38 pick. Now, see, the first pick, 7th overall, you really almost can't mess that up this year. If they get a quarterback, we're going to be patient with the pick and wait for at least a couple years before we decide if that was a good pick or not. But that second pick, 38th overall, you got to do something solid there. It's got to be an offensive lineman. It's got to be a defensive player of magnitude. And that's where we're going to judge Ziegler. From 2 to 3, 4, and the 2 5s. That's where we judge Ziegler. Because on the number 1, he may trade down. He may trade up. There's no way to know. And so all those things have variables on them where you could forgive him even if it doesn't pan out, because quarterbacks are high bust potential. So if he goes for the quarterback, we could justify it, but also understand it if he doesn't make it. Whereas I would like someone that's a high round draft pick like Carter with low bust potential, because his job is see quarterback, see running back, hit quarterback, hit running back, period. You know what I mean? That job's a little bit easier to do than a quarterback who has to read defenses, go through progressions, roll right, roll left, RPO, fake, no, go, oh. Next year, Las Vegas gets the A's. You know, I didn't mind that since the Raiders went to Vegas. I thought, why not the A's go to Vegas? If they're going to go anywhere, why not Vegas? Pair them up with the partner they had one before. It feels like our Bay Area thing is just moving to Vegas. I kind of like that. In a weird way, I like that. And I like that there's a WNBA team in Vegas, and it's damn good. They've already won a ring. They won last year's WNBA championship. So I kind of like that. Vegas is kind of coming up. They become our sister city, so to speak. All right, you guys, that's my show. I appreciate all of you tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, Raider Bear family page. And look for me also on Facebook tomorrow. I will be auctioning off items on Facebook tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So look for me then, 4 o'clock, auction, Raider Bear, Facebook. It's going down, Raider Bear family page. All right, I appreciate you all. Shout out to my armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, for all you do. The energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice. Active and veteran, much love. Doc Raider, I got you, no problem. Or if that's Val, I got you, no problem. A Raider! Woo! Aww, let's go! All right, that's my show. Much love, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Voice from on above, one more time. Woo! There it is. All right, that's our show. We'll see you tomorrow at 4 and again at 8. Raider Bear family page.